in, come in, come in, come in. Come in. Let me paste our description so you guys can reference products as needed. Here we go. Edit that. Let's upload this thumbnail. This is class number 4. Okay, open. Okay, did this save? I think this saved. Cancel. Oh, my description's too long. That's why it won't save. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I have too much stuff in the description box. Okay, we got to take something out. Oh, like 100 words. Okay. So let's take this out. Now we can save. Done? Is it done? Is it done? This class will be more like a refresher. A refresher with also some new insights and more time for me to hone in on some things regarding hormones that we may not have gotten to. Okay, so dashboard. Okay. There we go. Got my screen back. Let me look. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Okay, you know what? I think everyone got used to me running late. Everyone got used to me running late, and everyone's not on. So I'm gonna talk a little bit real quick. Hi, Marsha. Hi, Pam. Hi, Miss Cherie Bay. Miss April. Here they come. Hi, Nataki. So I'm about to hit my recording before I show. Oh, wait a minute. I got too many screens here. Okay, let's move that there and give you guys just some small updates while everyone's coming into the classroom. So let me hit record on my end, even though this will post immediately after. I did post into the description. So right away when I'm referring to things, you will be able to see them. Hi, Kenya. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Let's go to, where's my recording? Okay. Where did it go? Oh, duh. It's there. Okay. Record to the cloud or to the computer. Let me do to the cloud. Okay, we're good. We're good on sound. We're good on video. Come on in. Okay. So, welcome to our 4th class of Restoring Metabolic Health Holistically. This 4th class, we're finally diving into hormones. So what I want to share with you with this 4th class, the beginning class that we did that I broke up over 3 classes, and those 3 classes were like about 1, 2, 2.5 plus about 3 hours to 3.5 hours. That 3 class segment of 3.5 hours is typically done in 2 hours. So I talk fast, which means you get a lot more material in the time as well. So with this 4th class, now we begin diving in. So remember, this is 4th class of 10 classes. So typically each of these sessions that I do are not this long. So I've been diving in more. If you are not in the Kajabi community, which is our forum and learning collective, in the description box below, there's information on how you access those materials, even if you're replaying this and watching it after. Hey, Mom. Hey. So that's where I'm posting materials. I post recipes targeted to each of the organs that we end up discussing. We have a new challenge I launched. Last week I gave you guys off and there was not a challenge. Remember, there's no homework, there's home practice. So the challenge for week 4 really is a check-in, assessing where you're at and asking a few questions. So make sure you do the challenge. It lists what the prize is. The prize is a free meal plan of your choice if you answer each of the 3 questions there. So having said that, I'm gonna get to it. I will be looking over at the chat tonight for certain questions to hone in on things. Tonight we will be talking, I'll be focusing, well, matter of fact, let me just share my screen and I'll get into what we're going to be focusing on. All righty. Give me a second here. Let me move some things around. No, start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. Okay. Let me know if I'm up in the corner. Let me know if I'm up in the corner. And let me move my keyboard and get some notes here. Yep, I can see myself on this side. Okay, I'm up in the corner. You guys are coming in. Hi, Khaleesi. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 everybody. Okay, so y'all said yes, yes, I'm up in the corner. Okay, great. Great, great, great. In the corner. What is this light? Like I got, let me, is that too much light? Okay, I think that did it. Okay, I took some of the light off. All right, so this is part 1 of 2 parts. This is the longer of the class, but a lot of this, like I said, will sort of be a refresher so I can kind of slow some things down. I'll be looking over into the comments for you. So not that if you're watching this and didn't watch number 3, after this, go back and watch class number 3. So overview of hormones is what I'm going to do in the beginning of this. This, I think I touched on in class number, one of the classes I touched on. Signs that you have a hormonal imbalance. Now, keep in mind when I'm touching on this, I'm linking this to metabolic issues, and more specifically because my expertise has mainly been in the lane of weight and fat loss, although I can help root and probe for other issues. For me to become a part of the Hillman Talk movement, I already had presentations ready to go. And so that's why many of the things you see will be a link to weight and fat loss. But as you guys know, in the classroom, when you ask certain questions, or for those of you that have booked Clarity consultations, by the way, the Clarity consultation link is down below in this box as well. There's 2 different types of Clarity consultations, weight and fat loss, and a therapeutic. Even if some of you already signed up and have consultations booked for this week, even if you signed up and it was under the weight and fat loss, if how you completed your forms, it's more therapeutic, it's fine. There's no price difference. It just gives me a direction of what your goals are. So, all right. So in today's lecture 4, I will be focusing on how chronic stress, poor sleep quality, exposure to toxins, and viruses, the first 4 bullets I'm thinking we'll get through, affect your hormones, and giving you strategies and remedies for this. In class number 5, we'll get into low vitamin D and hormone-based life events. Hormone-based life events that I'll mainly be focusing on with that. Oh, what is this shaking? Will be rooted in menopause. Well, I will touch on other hormone-based life events such as puberty is one. We don't need to talk much about that. But in terms of PMS issues, I will be really honing in on PMS issues and menopause issues, okay? So PMS is a monthly hormonal imbalance. Menopause is a hormone-based life event that occurs over a long period of years and how you navigate that. I already, in our forum and learning collective, in the Kajabi communities, in that app, I already uploaded some information, phytoestrogens. Please don't ask me questions on that yet because we didn't get the menopause. I went ahead and just uploaded the material. I probably should have waited. But you do have the recipes for hormonal imbalances. You also have phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are plant-based estrogens. So you're no longer making enough estrogen, how you can get it from plants. And there's a couple other things in there. Okay, so let's get started. So what are hormones? What are hormones? If you remember in the beginning when I talked about mind, body, and soul. And I said mind is more like the brain when we're going through this course. When I talked about the body, that's more like the flesh. What is your structure like? What are your muscles like? Is your body physically thriving? Are you low on energy? So mind, body, spirit. Spirit is hormones. Spirit is hormones. You can't see them, but they affect everything you do. Everything you do. And they react to the environment around you. They react to what you subject it to. The hormones signal your brain and other organs to react, so proper balance is crucial. All right? Proper balance is crucial. So let's get into hormones. All right. I always say that hormones are similar to DoorDash, Instacart, depending on where you're at in the country, in the world. They're chemical messengers. So think of them as like, what is the old messengers? Like little, what were the messengers called? I forget. That kind of run and deliver a message to the right target, and that target takes the message and executes, right? So hormones act as chemical messengers that are released into the bloodstream to act on an organ or in another part of the body. So this is the important part that I want you to understand. Although hormones reach all parts of the body, only the target cells with compatible receptors are equipped to respond. I'm going to pause. Although your hormones are transported through what? Your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system. So if you have a sluggish lymphatic system, not only may you back up and bloat with toxins, but your hormones can't get to where they go. It's a transportation system. So these hormones can reach all parts of the body, but only target cells that have the compatible receptors. I relate this to having carrier pigeons. Misaki said carrier pigeons. There you go. Your hormones are your carrier pigeons. So an Android phone and an iPhone. If you try to plug the charger for an Android phone up, as far as I know to date, into an iPhone, you can't do it. So guess what? That hormone cannot be activated. All right. Or let's say your phone is fine and you have an iPhone, but the receptor, what's receiving the cord, is dirty or blocked and it can't get in. Then guess what? Whatever that cord is supposed to do is not going to be able to respond appropriately. So when you're thinking about hormones, and I've learned that not many people talk about this at all. So I included this in my presentation. This has always been here. I think you guys will enjoy this. I'm almost certain I touched on it in one of our prior classes ahead of time, so it'll be a refresher for you. Hormones influence everything you think of, everything about how your body works, everything. So hormones have a cycle life, and a lot of us are only focused on whether or not, when you get labs, whether or not your body makes that actual hormone. Do I have enough of the hormone? That's a moment in time in a serum draw, a blood lab. But breakdowns can happen in terms of your body creating the hormone, transporting the hormone. That means getting it to where it needs to go in your system, utilizing the hormone if the receptor site can receive it, and eliminating it. So let me break each of these down again to see if you guys get this. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, let's go back. Create it. Your hormones are produced by specialized cells or glands in the endocrine system, which we began to touch on last week. And what is the focus of hormones? Your endocrine system. Pituitary gland we talked about, thyroid gland we talked about, adrenal glands we talked about. And we're going to talk about them again today. So you are going to have a refresher with this. So hormones are first created, then they're transported. When a hormone's been produced, it's typically reduced into the bloodstream, right? Sometimes it can also flow through the lymphatic system. This is the issue, because when it's being transported to go to the target cells or organs, you have to, no, I'm going to say that. Rewind. The hormones can be transported through your lymphatic system and your bloodstream, right? But keep in mind that lymphatic system, immune balance, and the other things that are transported to the lymphatic system. So blood and lymphatic system. The holdup is typically, I just realized there's a whole typo on my screen. What is that? Transported, eliminated. What is that? Oh, I see. Created, transported, utilized, eliminated. Woo, chat. What's wrong with me today? Y'all in the comments, I'm like, why does it say it? Whoo, okay. You could tell I created this presentation 3 years ago. So, woo. All right. Utilize it. Only then, once it's transported, can you utilize it. So let's say you do a lab draw and you're like, oh, those hormone levels are great. Yes, but is it being transported to where it needs to go effectively? Then is it being utilized? So this is where hormones do their magic. You think of it with anything. This is when I talk about you are not what you eat. You are what your body is able to do with what the food that you eat. Same thing with your hormones. Can your body use the hormones? Is it locking into the receptor site? Or is your receptor site clogged with synthetic hormones from plastics and foods that you eat that mimic the hormone? So there's things that you eat, things that you take in, things meaning that you breathe in, things that you put on your skin that actually can mimic, let's say, for example, estrogen. It'll block the receptor site. And even though you're creating enough of it, your receptor site has been jacked. It's been hacked. And the receptor site thinks that it has estrogen binding to it, but it doesn't. So you have enough levels, but you're like, wait a minute, my body's telling me something's off. So this is why I say in functional medicine, we don't always need labs. Labs are nice, but labs, your body gives us more information than a lab. Anyone in holistic health that focuses solely on labs or primarily on labs, it's a disservice. And this is why people go to doctors and they go, my labs are normal, but you go, I know I'm not feeling good. I know I'm not normal. I know these aren't normal. Thank you. I see the love in the comments. Thank you. So keep in mind, just because your labs say it doesn't mean it is not true, because your labs only measure if it's creating it. Your labs don't measure if it's transported. Now, labs can measure if it's utilizing it. Do all doctors use those labs? Maybe not, but we can tell that without a lab. Okay, so when you're utilizing it, let me read from my notes. When a cell reaches its target cells and tissues, it binds to specific receptors, right? Triggering a cascade of reactions. Binds to the cell. So here's the hormone. I have enough of it. Okay, I'm going on my path. I'm going on my path. I'm going on my path. I found my target cell where I need to deliver this message to tell this organ what to do. Uh-oh. Can I get into the receptor? I'm into the receptor, right? And then once it's into the receptor, the organ then does what the hormone tells it to do. So much when I talked about insulin, the role of insulin, when you think of diabetes, the role of insulin is to go to the cell and tell it to open up and pull the sugar out of the blood. So when we say someone is insulin resistant, guess what? The cell is not receptive. That means the cell is not opening up. So they can't utilize it. If you can't utilize it, the cell doesn't know to open up. Then some people get all the way tapped out and they don't even make enough insulin no more, and they need insulin to replace. So the hormones create, transport, utilize. Are y'all keeping up with this? Was anyone, or have you been familiar with this even if I spoke about it before I spoke about it in prior classes? Were you familiar with the hormone life cycle? Or did you think, oh, if my lab looks good, I'm creating enough, then it's doing what it's supposed to do? Let me know. Now, as you guys are typing in the comments, remember that the cellular receptivity I talked about before, if the cell is not receptive to the hormone, that's a different issue. That's when it can't be utilized either. Either a receptor is blocked. Okay, never heard of this. This is new to me. Learning as we go. Yes, yes. You'll make your doctor smile when you say these things. They'll go, oh gosh. They'll be like, what is she watching? What is she doing? Your hormones have to be created. So your body creates it, transports it, utilizes it, and then it has to be eliminated. Yeah, labs don't always mean it's good, especially if you have other symptoms and you're like, something else is wrong. When you feel it, when you know, you know. When you know, you know. I always say, I don't know my client's body better than they know it. What I do know is what I've been trained is what the organs are supposed to do. And if the physiology and the functionality don't match up, then let's support that organ. I don't always need labs. They're nice, but I don't always need them. Okay. Okay, you have to eliminate it. Your hormones must be eliminated. Once a hormone completes an intended function, your body's supposed to flush it out. That goes out through the body's lymphatic system. Because guess what? If not, it's going to build up in toxic levels. What did I tell you? What happens when there's a buildup in the blood? when it's toxic levels of sugar or hormones or just other toxins. The body takes it and stores it in the what? Let me see if y'all remember. Where does it store it? Where does it store it when there's a buildup? To protect you. Anything to protect you, to maintain homeostasis. Where does the body store it? Oh, I see that in the comments. Empress said they did a hormone panel on me. Everything was good, but nope. Yeah, Empress, we definitely clarity consultation. Definitely clarity consultation. Thank you. Nataki said turns to fat. That's what it does. That's why fat is so stubborn. Fat is stubborn because it's supposed to, it's like, do we really want to release this? Anytime you burn fat, you're releasing toxins. Anytime you burn fat, you're releasing toxins. So your body stores it in fat cells. And it will create more fat cells if it needs to. We'll talk about that when we get to inflammation. It will create more fat cells if it needs to. So keep this in mind. And the hormones are also eliminated through metabolism by the liver, the kidneys, that whole, when we get into, I think I talk about that in the inflammation when I talk about your body and detoxing, your body's natural detox organs. Okay, so let's move along. So like I said, this, is this on the screen? Let me turn this off. Okay. Signs of an imbalance, hormonal imbalance. Now, this is related to weight and fat loss struggles. I want to say in general, this is related to metabolic health. Yes, it usually appears as weight and fat loss, but depending on the side of the spectrum, it could go either way. So, I clicked on the wrong screen. Here we go. Signs a hormonal imbalance is slowing your metabolism. I could not fit everything on here. Let me tell y'all, when you, well, I won't get it out. When you, well, I will. When you do a clarity consultation with me, you complete a host of forms, right? For me to take a look at. So that's why some of you in the classroom have been asking questions, and I go, they're like, well, if I'm on this medication, will that help with this? And I go, well, it depends on not only what the medication is, but why did the doctor prescribe the medication? Because a lot of medications are used off-label. Like, for example, Wellbutrin is an antidepressant, but Wellbutrin also helps people quit smoking. So it can be prescribed for both. So I need to know what your bio-individuality is like and get a look at you. So that's why I say before you go every session, ordering all the supplements in here, assuming that's what you have wrong, you know, wait to get through the course. Some of the stuff you may know right away. Yes, I need the cortisol drops. Cortisol drops, I would say, yes, you would know. But before you go ordering everything, it's probably going to be cheaper for you to book a clarity consultation. So then you'll know, and I will know then for you what, like, you know what, you don't need 7 supplements. This is at the actual root of your thyroid. So instead of you doing the thyroid medication, I'm going to treat your immune system. But you only know that if you have, whether it's me, whether it's someone else, have someone else look at these things to help you get to the root. But this is, I do, one of the forms that you actually complete is an A to Z symptom checklist. This is just one A to Z symptom checklist. You check off these symptoms. Now, those of you that are watching this, if you remember, there's a recording. There's 2 recordings on this YouTube channel. There's one that says, there's 2. There's one recorded a year ago and one for this course. And I'm like, tally. Anybody remember that in the comments where I had you tallying and tallying? I was going down, what's a hormonal issue look like? What a digestive issue? What an immune imbalance may look like? For example, most people don't get that acne is more related to a digestive issue imbalance and hormonal. But let me not say acne, skin conditions, certain skin conditions. Most people don't know that dark under eye circles is an immune imbalance, but they'll tell me, oh, I have no inflammation in my body. Yes, you do. I'm looking at your stomach. Your stomach is a big bowl of inflammation or gut dysfunction and hormonal imbalances or a combination of them. But it's hard for me to tell unless I get this and I get my matrix where I'm able to look at everything. Okay. So these are just a few of the examples of if a hormonal imbalance is slowing your metabolism. And if you go to the bottom, you go, wait a minute, cholesterol's on there. Type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is a metabolic condition. It's hormonal. You can't metabolize sugar, and it's an insulin-related issue. Cholesterol, also a hormonal-related issue. Sometimes the reason why women, once we start declining estrogen, you wonder why all of a sudden the American Heart Association had this big campaign of why women, our heart health drops at age 50 because we lose estrogen. Estrogen is the superhero. It protects us all of that time. So when it begins to decline, all of these other issues surface and you can't get to the root. And they throw you on a statin and jacks up your kidneys and everything else when all you needed to do was take some phytoestrogens and target your body and eat in a certain way so your body can metabolize the cholesterol and the cholesterol won't build up in your bloodstream. Because a lot of people usually aren't eating that much cheese and unhealthy fats. And to be honest, the statin stops cholesterol and your body needs cholesterol to make hormones. That's why statin is the worst thing you can absolutely take. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially as a woman, you take a statin, which makes your liver stop producing cholesterol, but your body needs cholesterol to activate your hormones to work. So you're going into menopause, struggling with your hormones already, and then they give you a statin to make your hormones even stop working more because they're worried about the cholesterol. You can get your cholesterol in check without the statin. Without the statin. Okay, let's move along so I can keep us under an hour this week. This is what I call, this is our hormone pyramid here. And when it works, hormone balance is beautiful. It's complex, but it's beautiful, but you can't spot. You can't be like, oh, this is the issue. But I want you guys to pay attention to the bottom. Everyone, they'll come to me because they think their sex hormones are imbalanced. We got to look at blood sugar regulation first. Then insulin, then adrenal. This is the impact. So the biggest impact hormonals that people don't talk about is blood sugar regulation. Right away. You think about blood sugar and insulin, you just think about diabetics. But it's hugely, and I'll be sharing with you doing this, it's hugely important, so important. Before we get to adrenals, before we get to thyroid, before we get to sex hormones, let me see what that insulin's doing. Let me see what the blood sugar regulation is like. This is our non-negotiable table. Now, what I want to point out is that your hormones also, remember we talked about their messengers. Your hormones direct, just like insulin says, open up the cell, get the sugar out the blood. The insulin, y'all in the comments, Lord have mercy. I need a clarity call. Your hormones direct the liquefaction of body fat for fuel. Your hormones decide what to do. You think you deciding what to do. Your hormones are deciding based on the conditions that you've subjected it to, what it's going to do. So as your hormones become increasingly imbalanced, depending on where they're at, any of these, too much or too little can cause a problem. Too much or too little. I often see signs where it's too little of a hormone or too much. Too much of cortisol, too little of the insulin. Too much of cortisol, too little of the sex hormone. A lot of that. But what happens when you become increasingly weight loss resistant, and also you can be eating, as I told you before, all kinds of great foods. You can be eating all of the foods, doing all of the things, and your body will take the lettuce and convert it to glucose. All right? And what you eat will become a moot point because you can't access the nutrients. If your body can't access the nutrients, I don't care what you think you get. And if your body can't break down the supplement that you're taking, because we get into digestion in we're in week 4, we get into digestive health in week 6 and 7. If you got a jacked up gut lining and you're telling me you're eating healthy, and I'm looking at your body like it ain't working, your body ain't using the nutrients because it can't absorb it and use it. You done jacked up your intestinal tract where 90% of nutrient absorption takes place. But we'll get into that next week. Not next week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, we'll get into that. Okay. The hormone linked to weight and fat loss struggles. The hormone linked to weight and fat loss struggles. The hormone link. Wait a minute, while I'm here with y'all, let me do my cortisol drops. Cortisol drop break. Because I meant to do this when I came in today. And I keep one up here by my desk, but I usually go in my bedroom, but I won't leave to get it. So the cortisol wellness, when I tell you I keep one in my office, one in my bedroom, and one in the kitchen. So if I forget, I have them. Because I noticed a difference with these. A tremendous difference. This is down below in the description. If you're replaying or watching now, it's down there. I think most of y'all have gotten these by now. Oh, Pam said, I just did mine. I don't play with these drops. This is one that, under the tongue. If you can, hold it for 10 seconds. I'll swallow, but, and they taste so good. Lemon. This is one of my newest finds in terms of supplements, and I love this. I've seen results quick. Everyone's body is different, but I love these cortisol drops. Oh, look, Kalisha, I did mine earlier. I feel like if people work in the office, everybody should have cortisol drops in their office or at their cubicle. Like, for real. Okay. So I already said this to y'all. I already said this. Okay. I said this already. Sometimes I be ahead of myself. So first. So I said that in this session, in this class, we're going to talk about the things that most impact imbalance of hormones. The number one thing is stress. A lot of y'all think, oh, wait a minute. Stress is the most common hormonal imbalance that impacts metabolism. We talked about it in the other classes because it affects everything from menopause, PMS, to high cholesterol levels, to high sugar levels. Chronic stress is the most impactful thing on metabolism. I don't know if y'all realize that. She said, are those drops like anxiety medication? It can fall into that category as well. It could fall in there. It has 5 different ingredients. It can fall into that category as well. But I wouldn't, for me, it was getting the cortisol down, because the cortisol is not always linked to anxiety, but it's linked to sleep, it's linked to belly fat, it's linked to inflammation, it's linked to so many things. So, all right, so let's get into the stress. So when your body is stressed, you have hormonal changes, including issues with the cortisol, insulin resistance. We talked about thyroid, issues with estrogen, and low testosterone. Hormonal changes cause insulin resistance, and insulin resistance contributes to abdominal fat storage. So just remember, when somebody's pissing you off or getting upset, before you do, think about all of when I talked about when a hormone signals the cascade of biochemical changes going on in your body. Is it really worth it to be stressed over it? Some of us just have a stressful lifestyle. So the adaptogens and things that I've begun to recommend and that I talk about are so you can help your body adapt. If something's too high, it brings it down. If it's too low, it brings it up. It helps establish balance naturally with these plant-based remedies. Okay. So, chronic stress is most damaging to your adrenal glands. We talked about adrenal glands in class number 2. If you need to go back on a refresher, that's where the cortisol drops, that's where they came in. The cortisol drops, let me see what else here in terms of it being damaging. The cortisol drops, the L-theanine, I don't even got to look, the L-theanine, the holy basil. I'm trying to look because I don't want to say something that I didn't put in. I use so many things for my clients, sometimes more than what I put here. I'm looking at what I included in the description box so you know. The holy basil, the L-theanine, the cortisol wellness drops, all things to help support the adrenal glands. Now remember, as a refresher, the adrenal glands are your hormone regulators. They secrete hormones that regulate your body's response to stress. They determine if you store food, which is your fuel, as fat or burn it as energy. If you are stressed at work and eating a piece of cake or some pizza, your body is going to store it as fat. If you're in crisis when you're eating it, it's going to be stored as fat. If you're eating a salad and you are stressed out eating the salad, your body's going to take the glucose and convert it and store it as what? As fat. You got to be happy when you're eating. You need to be happy. This is why we say things in functional medicine, like if you have certain spiritual practices such as prayer, even if you don't pray, thinking happy thoughts, some gratitude, something funny before you eat, because you're eating that. Your body's going to decide what it's going to use it for. You're eating it because you like it, but your body is like, this is my fuel, and I got to decide what to do with this fuel. So I don't care if it's cake, if it's salad, you want to be in a happy, jovial mood. Don't be chewing all fast. We're going to talk about the downfalls of chewing fast in the upcoming weeks. I see these comments going off here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's go. So remember that your body, the hormones that are not, although I talk about cortisol, the other hormones that are secreted are adrenaline, aldosterone. Aldosterone is related to water weight, and epinephrine, right? So they're all released in response to stress or pleasure. So let me remind you, eustress and distress. So sometimes, like me teaching this, getting worked up, my cortisol levels are higher. I'm excited. Exercise takes cortisol up. So when I bring clients into a healing diet, 9 times out of 10, especially if I'm working on weight and fat loss, they don't exercise during my 10-day reboot. And they drop a lot of weight. And they go, wait a minute, but I thought no, you was already stressing your body out. Your body needed a break. So I could heal it with these plant-based remedies and with a certain type targeted meal plan. So remember, your adrenal glands, this is the one thing I want to drive home to you. Your adrenal glands will respond. Whether it's an unpleasant work situation or a bad relationship or a quick email where somebody cut you off, your adrenal glands are going to correspond. They're going to respond the same way. You get what I'm saying? They don't know the difference between you going through a divorce and you getting pissed on somebody in traffic. So be mindful. Use breath work. We're going to get into that. Let me get into that. Okay. Wait. I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, Roxanne, come on. Where'd your mouse go? There it is. I won't read these again. We touched on these when we talked about adrenal glands. Specific to your fit body goals, what happens? Stress pulls nutrients from your muscles. If you're not eating right or the right foods, a string of hormonal reactions will slow down your metabolism. High cortisol levels suppress insulin sensitivity. So this is, remember I talked about cortisol, stress-induced type 2 diabetes, and then adrenal fatigue. Remember in your book, the one course book, if you think you have issues with adrenal fatigue, this has an excellent section. This book is in the description. Excellent section, several pages on what to do about adrenal fatigue. All right. And also go back to class number 2 because I talked about this intensely. That class was like an hour and 15 minutes or hour and a half long. Adrenal support tips. I can't stress enough to improve your sleep. Improve your sleep. Your adrenal glands need rest. Remember, melatonin is the sleep hormone, cortisol is wake hormone. If you stay up, your cortisol levels are going up. No caffeine. I want to touch on caffeine real quick. All my coffee drinkers. If you're a coffee drinker and you wanna confess, put it in the comments because I'm about to go in on you. Not in a bad way, but I'm going to educate you here. We may have to stop this class. Let me see. Earlier than I thought. We may not get through viruses. I can pair it next week. That's why I allotted 2. So look, while you're putting if you're a coffee drinker or not in there, put a cup of coffee, a tea emoji, or something like that. I'm going to coffee. Remember I talked last time, one of the number one reasons why removing caffeine is important is because caffeine increases cortisol. So if you must have coffee, number one, have it 4 hours after waking up. Your cortisol levels are naturally higher in the morning. Why? It's the awake hormone. So when you wake up, they're higher. That's why I grab my cortisol drops in the morning, first thing in the morning, usually midday and always at night, right? So, because if I take the cortisol levels down at night, it's allowing my melatonin to do its thing. If I take them down middle of the day when I'm rushing around, it's making sure my body doesn't feel like it's in crisis mode. And when I take them in the morning, I'm sorry, I went through my day in reverse, they're already high. So it's not going to make me sleepy. You get where I'm going with this, with the cortisol? Now with the coffee that is sustainably grown and mycotoxin free is great. Mycotoxin, mycotoxin, mycotoxin. Mycotoxins are common. Most coffee, remember I said coffee is the most heavily treated product in the world. Coffee is it has herbicides, pesticides, fertilizer in it. We talked about what those toxins do. That also leads to inflammation in the body, right? What does inflammation do? Inflammation increases cortisol. It's another reason why I don't want you drinking coffee. It increases. So if you want to drink, find you a mushroom coffee. Find you, you might got to try a few or replace it with a tea. The other cause of inflammation when it comes to coffee are these mycotoxins. They're naturally produced in molds and fungi. So because of the growing and processing practices for coffee, much of the coffee that we have, unless you spending a nice coin on some organic, sustainably grown, it will say chemical-free, mycotoxin-free coffee. If you're not getting it, you take it in the inflammation. So you're getting cortisol bump on 2 levels. You're getting a cortisol bump from the toxins in the coffee that's creating inflammation. The inflammation is signaling more cortisol. And then you're getting a bump because you're stressing your adrenal glands with that boost in what you think is energy first thing in the morning. So you got 2 bumps of cortisol. All right, 2 bumps of cortisol. So it's a lose-lose situation. I have my energy tea, which I recommend to my clients. That is down in the description box. So no caffeine. This is why. No alcohol, no smoking. Alcohol we'll get into, we talked about with the liver. It is a toxin. And so your liver has to work harder and it slows down the adrenal glands from doing their job. Adaptogenic herbs I talked about in class number 2 as well. The main ones, the reishi, the lion's mane. I love lion's mane because it helps with mental clarity. Cordyceps and chaga are the main adaptogenic herbs that are going to help with adrenal support. I went into that in more detail with breaking those down in class number 2. So you can always go back. Bitter herbs. Bitter herbs are things that naturally stimulate your body's digestive system. So they actually help your body break down foods more, like a natural digestive enzyme. But there are certain bitter herbs and nervine herbs that actually help the body the same way adaptogens do, where it'll bring things up or takes things down. Some of them are like bungleweed, golden seal, hops, yarrow, horehound. I did put something in the classroom that gives you them, but I don't guide on them unless you're a one-to-one client in terms of using the bitter herbs. But bitter herbs and magnesium. The magnesium that I use and recommend to clients is in the description box. And when you exercise, nothing too strenuous. Your adrenal glands are exhausted, so you want something that is not too strenuous. What are my thoughts on mushroom experiences? Put that in the classroom, because I need to know what you mean by mushroom experiences. Mushroom experiences. My thoughts on anything that calms the sympathetic nervous system, makes you feel good, and is not doing harm to anyone is go for it. That is my take. That is my take on anything that is not damning to the body. It supports what you're trying to achieve health and wellness wise. I'm team press the pedal. Go. I'm team go. Green light. I don't know if that answers it. Okay. Remember, oysters are a superfood. Oyster zinc is the best one to use for this. If you didn't screenshot before, here's a screenshot of the power support foods. The recipes for the adrenal glands are also in week 2. So if you're in the classroom, or tap into the classroom in the description box, how you get into the classroom. Week 2, I posted adrenal support foods and recipes. Recipes, not foods, but recipes. So that way you're not trying to piece this all together. And if you're trying to, from class to class, go, oh, I need this, I need liver, I need that. I have a one all you done program that has all this done for you combined into chef-based recipes with coaching support, especially for those that are trying to lose weight. And then I have other food is medicine meal plans. So if you're going through this and you're like, I'm writing this down, I'm trying to piece it together, it's too much, it's already been done for you. It's done for you. It's done. Just reach out to me. So we talked about how stress affects the thyroid. I think, let me look here. Yeah, maybe I'll save sleep for next week. I'm trying to keep us back to getting short. Yeah, and the liver. Oh, yeah, okay. We talked about the thyroid gland. I won't go much into the thyroid because we just talked about it last week. But remember, your body makes 80% T4, only 20% T3. T3 is the active form of the thyroid hormone that actually influences metabolism and burns your food. You know, your thyroid is your furnace. The thyroid hormones are the heat. The thyroid is the furnace, and the hormones they secrete are the heat to burn the fat. All right. When you don't have your thyroid, we got to rely on everything else. Oh, Empress, if you don't like oysters, that's why the oyster zinc, which is down below from Smidge, the oyster zinc has has what you need in there, because I don't eat them either. This also was posted in the classroom along with the nutrient sheet to break it down. So I won't spend any time on this, since in class number 2, we talked about this intensely. If you didn't see that, you need to go to that class number 3 where we went in on the thyroid here. You guys let me know in the comments that's live as I move forward if that was helpful to you, if you attended class 3, me having that diagram, and it's also in the class 3 materials where you can have this to see. The thyroid support tips we talked about. But the thing that you're going to see that's going to be common across the board with anything in health: reduce your stress, improve your sleep. Reduce your stress, improve your sleep. You're also going to see prioritizing gut health. Strength training is excellent. Strength training is excellent. And reducing inflammation in the body, which we'll get into in the upcoming weeks. But almost everything is going to be improve your sleep, reduce your stress. Improve your sleep, reduce your stress. Improve your sleep, reduce your stress. So do it. You don't need to know that you have a thyroid problem to improve your sleep and reduce your stress. There are certain processes that happen when you sleep that can only happen when you sleep. Like the growth hormone is only secreted when you sleep. Okay, great. Thank you, Empress. Thank you for reminding them. You guys can download what I have there. So I'm sharing materials that I used in my actual training with you. Now, when I look at thyroid numbers as well, like for those of you, if you end up doing a clarity consultation, when I look at your labs, I have a whole separate sheet of labs. You guys get regular ranges, and then we have what's called functional ranges. And then for those that are looking to lose weight, I have fast metabolism ranges. So like, for example, when I'm looking at the TSH, I want it under 1. I want my clients to have a TSH under 1 if they're trying to lose weight. Their T4, 1.5 to a 2.0. When you look at those ranges for what your doctor said on your lab is normal, you can be like, wait a minute, that's way different than mine. That's my job to go, this is normal, but the fact that you're not losing weight or the fact that you're struggling here or you're having fatigue means we need to get you in what we call a functional range. Functional ranges are not something your doctor is going to give you. They give you a broad range of what they say is normal, even if your body is not behaving normal. And that's what allows functional medicine practitioners such as myself to be able to help you even when your labs look normal according to their Western medicine, allopathic medicine numbers. Yes, we have that in common. Every holistic and metabolic health person going to tell you, get some more sleep and reduce your stress because of the process that happen when you get stressed and when you go to sleep. Okay, we talked about RT3 before. Talked about chronic dieting before. Maybe I can do this. Thyroid power foods. The thyroid, sluggish thyroid meal plan. If you have hyperthyroid, you don't want this because the iodine we have to limit. But so this is more sluggish thyroid. These foods still support with hyper, but you got to be careful with the iodine supporting foods and the balance. And you want someone that's trained to be able to help you. So that's why I say don't always spot, I need this, I need this, I need this. Empress said, the doctors hate to see us coming. My doctors done got used to me. They know that regular 15-minute slot, you better book me for 30. You know what I'm going to be in here asking. And you know, before you ask me to take anything, I'm going to ask you several questions. So they just get you from my eye doctor, because my rheumatoid arthritis, my autoimmune condition attacks my vision. They know. They know, they're used to me now, and they're in line. They're my team. They're my team. They know that's the functional approach is what we're going to take first. My PCP wanted me to go carnivore. Like he won't put none of his clients in Ozempic. He's like, Okay, pituitary support. You remember what your pituitary gland does? So this is a reminder from last week. The thyroid support, the pituitary support. Plenty of water. Avoid refined sugars. Reduce your stress. Yes, avoiding refined grains and high sodium foods support the pituitary. The pituitary, as a reminder, is what controls your thyroid. Power foods again, just a refresher. What do I have here? Okay. Lifestyle modifications. What? The main modifications. 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep. 7 to 9, and take breaks throughout the day to lower cholesterol. I find myself, because I work from home, on the go, moving, especially for those that work from home, or if you're in an office. Do you take a break, or when you're taking your break, are you eating your lunch and working? You have to literally leave your space, take a walk, take a break. Don't talk. Don't even scroll on social media. These 2 ways are the best ways to support stress, the impact. Y'all realize I've been on stress the whole time. It's my biggest section of the whole hormone section. We didn't get into sleep. I got still sleep, exposure to toxins, viruses, vitamin D levels, and hormone-based events. That's what we're going to end up doing next week. Because stress takes up the largest part of our presentation. The largest part, because I want to hone in on that. The sleep, consistent sleep patterns, going to bed at the same time every day, taking breaks. So what I want us all to do is this activity. I love box breathing. Oh, I love it. 25-minute break. Energy is flowing and so peaceful. Your body needs a break. Has anybody heard of box breathing? We're going to wind down, and the next week we will get into, so although at the beginning I said we were covering the rest of this, we'll cover everything else next week. Let me know in the comments if you heard of box breathing. And next week, I'll get into lack of sleep, exposure to toxins, the liver, viruses, vitamin D, and hormone-based events, and how they all affect balancing your hormones and what to do about it. And that class will be the same length of time. It'll be the same length of time. It'll probably be like an hour. Okay, you did. A lot of y'all have heard of box breathing. The Navy SEALs use it. I like box breathing. There's a lot of different types of breath work that you can do. I like box breathing because I like the idea of thinking of a box, right? So we're going to do it together. Okay, Lisa says she has not. We're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. There's alternate nostril breathing. There's so many different types. Box breathing they use in the Navy SEALs because it brings down that impact on your sympathetic nervous system more quickly. That's the fight or flight mode. Fight or flight, the squabble up. We want that down. We want your body to know I'm okay. So taking times, several times throughout the day, if you're like a high-strung individual, even if you're just not, like to do this, or if you know you're dealing with situations that, even if you don't think they're stressful, you know they're putting you to the test, box breathing. So what we're going to do when we do this, you're going to inhale, right? You're going to hold for 4 seconds. Then you're going to, so we're going to start right here. Inhale on the left, Inhale for 4 seconds. So it's a 4-second inhale. Then you're going to stop and hold for 4 seconds. Then you're going to blow out through your mouth for 4 seconds and then just hold there for 4 seconds. You repeat, we're going to do just one round, but you typically repeat this for about 4 to 5 rounds. You will notice so quick, especially if you have like an Apple Watch or some kind of like tracking device, how quick it brings your heart rate down. And when you do that, you bring cortisol levels down. When cortisol levels go down, guess what happens? All of the other hormones, everything from estrogen to insulin, is better to able do its job. You take your body out of fat hoarding mode. You take your body out of building up inflammation mode, because that's what cortisol does. That's why I stress this, because the cortisol, the stress, is the root of so many of the issues. And so that's why I spend so much time on this. So inhale through your nose. Ready? Go. Hold 4. Exhale 4. Hold 4. Inhale 4. Exhale. Make sure you're holding, because I didn't tell you to hold. I was trying to count on my fingers and do it at the same time, but it's not relaxing to teach it. Screenshot this. Take you can go on YouTube and type in box breathing. It's so many different ones. It's so many different ones. I put my hand up and then my hand's on my thing. But the box breathing is highly effective, highly effective, highly effective. This is good for going to sleep even. It shuts your brain down. Just sit and do it. But for me, I love it with my cortisol drops. I will sit down in my chair. Why did I have my hand up here? Lower this hand. Okay. For me, it's most effective. It's quick. It's easy. You can do it in the car at the light. You don't even have to have your eyes closed. And you will notice how quick you come down. So, let me, So, if you haven't already, I forgot I had this in there because workouts are great. For those that don't know, because some of you don't know because you're signed up in the class, I do free workouts. Sundays right now, we do power Pilates. With 1 to 3 pound dumbbells or no dumbbells. On Tuesday evenings right now for the next 2 months, we use a booty band and we do lower body workout to soca and Afro beats. It's kind of cardio and lower body leaning, toning, using resistance bands. And then on Wednesdays, we do hard body hustle. So 3 workouts a week. If you would like to join me, the replays are available. You tap the link in the description box below under my website. And then once you're on my website, when it says main website, because I don't think I put a separate one, you just go to free virtual workouts and you sign up there. Replays are available Sunday. I'm Eastern time, so it all depends. Eastern time, I'm at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, Tuesday 6:30, although this week is 7:15, and Wednesday 6:30. But you get a replay link if you're logged in. So just make sure if you sign up, go to my website, drroxhealth.com. You'll see free workouts. Sign up here. And you sign up, check your box. If you're not already in my portal, then it's going to have you come. If you're already in the portal, it'll be an easy ad because you're already in there. My mom said, breathe before I curse somebody out. My mother. Oh, mom. So we will get into next week the lack of sleep, how that impacts insulin sensitivity, how it impacts cortisol regulation, the production of the growth hormone, how it also can disrupt your sex hormones. We will talk about also, we We will also talk about exposure to toxins. Just giving you a preview. Exposure to toxins and how that impacts your metabolic health. We'll get back into the liver there. We'll talk about the liver. And then I'll get into viruses. I'm going quick just to give you an idea. And then I'll get into, that's where we're supposed in today, vitamin D levels. After we're going into vitamin D levels and how that, a lot of people don't realize the vitamin D is so important. Look at all the reasons the vitamin D is important. Vitamin D is so important. So we'll be talking about that next week. And then we'll also be talking about hormone-based life events. And so for those of you like, I want to talk about the menopause and yes, but why does menopause come last? Because all of these other things have to be balanced first. So let me just, there's a screen I want to give y'all. I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy. We'll be going through this. So here's something else for you, the screenshot. I put this slide together so I can make sure that you guys have all of my contact information, depending on how you found this course, this replay on YouTube. So this is class number 4 of a 10-class session. This was the first session on balancing hormones. If you have not watched the other classes, I highly encourage you to do so. Now, I want to stop the share really quick on the screen and give you some pages to go to in our optional course text. Okay, so I'm back here. So the optional course text, the home apothecary. So I already gave you the pages in our other book. This is in the description box below. All right, this is in the description box below. This is the other book. I already gave you the pages from the other class related to that. So anything I talked about so far in this class, you already know what pages to go to. The Apothecary book. The Apothecary book. So much in here. So although I said I'm not giving you homework, it's a challenge to you for home practice. So in the actual classroom, you go in and there's a check-in challenge. That's an opportunity for you to earn whatever free meal plan you want. Whatever free meal plan you want. Well, not the curated one, but those that are done for you. The done for you meal plans, okay? So page 86. Page 86. So when I talk about, wait a minute, let me relate it to today. Apothecary. I'm going to give you this. Oh, thank you, Empress. She said she responds to emails. I do, y'all. I respond quick. As much as I tell you 24 to 48 hours, it's typically much faster than that. And I've been really busy lately, just trying to stay on top of it because I know when I'm eager to want to learn something, I want a response. For those of you that book clarity calls, I reached out to you like, hey, this email is off. I didn't hear back from you. I don't mean to rush you. I'm just trying to be like, look, I know when I spend my coins, I'm trying to get in as soon as possible. So I opened up extra slots to move people around. So even when you book and it forces you to schedule a time, just schedule it, but I will likely reach out to you if I have something earlier and give you other options. Just make sure you're checking your junk mail and promotional mail because that's where Gmail especially likes to put my stuff. So automatically, when you do anything with me, my system is really automated and smooth in the background. You're going to get an email. So don't think that you're waiting to hear from me. Check your junk and promotional email. And if you don't hear, reach out to me because you may have entered your email address wrong. I had that happen with a few people. Like I was surprised the number of people. So I said, oh, they were eager. Y'all, you were excited. Okay. Page 86. Page 86 in the Apothecary Guide. I love this because it teaches you what you want to take in your kitchen and make up for yourself. Let me come back here. Would that help? Nope. This green screen thing throws everything off. Okay. They even have some flat tummy capsules. What they got in the flat tummy capsules? Ooh, fennel, ginger root, dandelion root, turmeric, and cayenne pepper. Ooh, I just accidentally turned onto that page. I'm going to have to talk about the flat tummy capsules. This book, just get it. I love this one better than this one. This tells you what to do. This gives you how to make the medicine up in your house. So both of them will be handy. Okay, wait a minute. Page 86. Page 86. Page 86. Herbal support for detoxing. But I want to talk about, wait a minute. Wait. Why did I talk about detoxing? Oh, because I thought I was going to get further through the class. That's why. We're going to talk about this next week. My bad. They have a whole, look at the shelf. the whole shelf section on detox remedies. So next week when I get into liver and toxins and viruses, I want to share that. But as a reminder, there's a section. Endocrine system is mainly what we've been focusing on the last 2 weeks. Page 248. Everything from PCOS support here. Good, Kalisha said I have both books. PCOS support. Oh, they have buggleweed. Buggleweed. That's a bitter. Remember when I talked about a bitter? That's a bitter for thyroid balance. They even have a spiced milk for your pancreas. The hormone harmony elixir. They have a menopause relief elixir, an aphrodisiac, a fertility boosting tonic. Oh, I gotta see what the moon tea is about. You know I'm an astrology girly. So this, I like the layout. It's by the same person. It's by the same person. The links are in the box below. I'm sorry, y'all. The green screen doesn't let me do it. So, but it's definitely worth it. If you order it, look, I don't know what your views are. I'm not trying to give Amazon no money. So if you're on TikTok, order it through the TikTok link. It's in my showcase. I'm not trying to give Amazon no money, but if you feel like, look, I want to get the book here faster because the price is close, I believe it. Sometimes they had it on a flash sale too on TikTok. Get it there. But if not, and you got to go to Amazon, do what you got to do. I got both links below for you. I want to see the moon tea while we're on here. Let's see what's in the moon. Do y'all want to know what's in the moon tea? Because it's under reproductive health. So I'm wondering if it helps with endocrine, because reproductive and endocrine are together. I want to see what's in the moon tea. 250. Like look at this. Ear oil. It's stuff that I'm not even going to cover that's in this Apothecary book. Okay. What did I say? 252. This perimenopause. 259. Brain fog is real. I have a new supplement I'm going to be trying for this brain fog. Okay, let me see. 252. Well, I'm supposed to be on TikTok. So those of you that don't know, once we finish this class, I hop on TikTok for an informal discussion about what we just talked about. Some of you come on over and join me, and then others, we get some kind of new people, and I get other people to either sign up and just educate them. So where's the moon tea? So that's where I'll be as soon as I hop off, and I'll probably be doing it from up here in my office. Oh, okay. What's the moon tea for? Oh, that makes sense. The moon, because our cycle is like the lunar cycle, particularly during menstruation. Okay. Red raspberry leaf. Excellent. I approve. Nettle leaf. I approve because stinging nettle. I have stinging nettle in the description box below. If your teenager gets bad period cramps, stinging nettle drops I put under my tongue that week leading up to your period will reduce the cramps, and then take them while you're on your cycle as well, but not all the way through. Stinging nettle drops in the thing there. Oh, dried peppermint in some water. Yeah, see? I keep doing this, but there you go. There you go. See the moon tea? This is a good book. Okay, I'll see y'all in the classroom. Those that are joining me over at TikTok will hop on over there. And that's where even you can come in and ask me some other questions. I do this because this is a recording, so people can play this back. But TikTok is more informal, and I don't save those recordings. So the books are both good. If you had to pick one, I'll pick this one. Because I'm teaching you a lot. This one allows you to dive deeper from what I'm talking about. And it gives you a bit more. So they really do both do a good job. It definitely, if you're what you call it. So, okay. The drops are in the description box below under the video, and they're called stinging nettle. Stinging nettle drops are good. And even though the menopause tea is for menopause, when I reached out to my herbalist to do a period pain tea, she said, it's the menopause tea. I said, ain't nobody gonna take it because it says menopause. She said, well, don't tell their child, their daughter what it is, because it balances the hormones. So much like adaptogens, when I say adaptogens, if something's too high, it brings it down. If it's too low, it brings it up. The menopause tea also helps with period pain. So yeah, but the stinging nettle, that's the truth. If you have been in my Rev Me Up programs, because I know some of my clients are on here, that Rev Me Up Reboot tea is the best. You know, that Rev Me Up Reboot tea targets nourishing the thyroid. But it also, because of the other benefits of just those 3 ingredients we have in that tea that we make, it also helps. If I do that the week leading up to my period, I have no bloat, I have no cravings, and I forget my period's coming. I'm like, oh, you're here. Oh, wow. I had no cravings. I had no bloat. I had no really bad cramps. So if you've done the Rev Me Up Fat Loss System, the reboot, go back to the reboot tea, the 10-day tea. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad this was good information for you. The replay will be up here. Don't forget to share it, like it, and I will see you guys over on TikTok. Next week, we'll be diving into more new stuff related to hormones, but I already gave you a preview, but this was like a refresher. So get your sleep, reduce your stress. It's going to help with everything across the board. Oh, you like the cortisol drop. She said they the truth. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank y'all. I appreciate you for showing up. And shout out to those of you on the replay. I know you can't always join us or have time. Shout out to you on the replay. Send me questions in the classroom. Take time to read the description box because it has the products and it also has how to get in touch with me. So take some time to look through the description box for answers to questions you may have that will redirect you back to me or back to a particular product. All right. I'll see y'all next Monday, same time, same place, part 2 of balancing the hormones holistically.